And first up this week, we saw Tropic Thunder. It is written, directed, produced, and I think he was operating the boom mic for part of this as well, by Ben Stiller. And it focuses on a film being made based on a book from Nick Nolte's character about the Vietnam War and how he lost both of his arms and the crew that he was with. And the actors in it, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. are all, very prima donna-ish in the things that they're doing, and they all have different things to prove. There's a lot in this movie that's going on. When it was focusing on the comedy, it was really funny, but there were a few parts in there that just kind of fell flat to me.
I don't know what parts you meant. I thought it was very funny all the way through, and it's a satirical look at Hollywood, and there's been some protests regarding the movie with regard to the frequent use of the word retard in a derogatory fashion. But really, they're not poking fun at mentally handicapped people. They're poking fun at actors and directors and writers and producers and everybody. The whole film industry is basically being lambasted by this movie, and it's not. It's certainly an industry that deserves it. And we would like to think that this movie is completely fictional and that they're, making all this stuff up just for the sake of a laugh, but they're really not. There are actors out there that will take the preparation for a role to obviously not to the extreme level of dyeing their skin yet, but I could see somebody doing it.
Yeah, the parts that kind of fell flat for me were trying to be a little too serious with it. There were very few parts in there that were like that when they were dealing with Robert Downey Jr. kind of coming to terms with who he is and things like that. It just seemed like it was a bit of a tone change that just felt a little too abrupt for me. But most of it, there's a lot of really funny interplay between Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr. The one kind of serious role that Ben Stiller played is what most of this discussion about mentally handicapped and the word retard comes from. And that was, particularly funny.
The only part of the movie I thought that didn't work all that well was Tom Cruise, and he has a cameo in it. And at first you can't even really recognize him. He's kind of bulked up for the role and is wearing a bald cap and everything. But you put him in there one time and oh my God, it's Tom Cruise playing a fat bald producer. And that's the joke. And you bring him back later and the joke just isn't as funny. But overall, I thought it was a well-deserved and very funny skewering of the Hollywood machine, so we should check it out.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back.